everyone, welcome to the channel. I know you're looking for some information about, based on the title that is there, is why should you leave your corporate job? Well, only you can answer that question. So stay tuned for the reasons why you should stay and why the reasons why you should go. Everyone, welcome to the channel. Just wanted to start off by saying thank you for stopping by the channel, looking at the information that I have. And my name is Ron. I am the owner and primary photographer for Lemelin Photography, based out of Massachusetts, but traveling all around New England to different states, depending on what the weddings are and what the needs are. So check out my website. I'll put the link below. If you like the content that's in this video, click subscribe and like for all the notifications, and let's get started. So I am now just left my corporate job after being a machinist for 33 years. I realized along the way that when things change not in your favor, you have to ask yourself, and you have to look at the writing on the wall. You have to ask yourself, is this something that I can continue doing? I realized corporate is cold. I had to ask myself, after being there for 33 years, after not getting the supervisor's position and then it taken away, I had to ask myself, can I do this for the next 10 to 12 years? Can I stay doing this thing? Now, along with the 33 years, there's the security of, and the security blanket of seniority. There's the salary that comes along with it. There's the vacation time, the sick time, there's the benefits, the 401k and the medical, the dental, and all that other stuff like that. And you have to ask yourself, can I see myself doing this for the next 10 to 12 years until I retire? My plan was always from the beginning I've had two full-time jobs. I had the full-time photography and I had the full-time machinist. And I started doing the machining 33 years ago. Long story short, that's for another video. Gotten to that place where both of my sons were born early. My youngest was born at 1 pound 7 ounces. So I put a camera in my hand. And at that time, this was back in 2000. At that time, we didn't know anybody that went through prematurity. So we had no idea what people were gonna go through as it comes to everything that's involved. So I bought a camera. They told us he was only gonna live 3% chance of life. I bought a camera and I was gonna document everything that happened along the way, as far as whatever time we have with him, I wanted to capture. The moments, the memories, the feelings, those emotions that come along with that. Fast forward, he's now 21 years old. That is just crazy to me, even to look and even say, 21 years ago, 1 pound, 7 ounces, 12 inches long, my wedding band would go all the way up his arm into his armpit. That's how small his bones were. Completely unformed when it comes to the skin and the eyes and all those different things. But again, that's for a video for another time. So the security that I built with being in that company for 33 years, I had to ask myself, what brings me more pleasure? What is my why? Do I get up in the morning and want to go and be a machinist? Yes. I love what I do. I create tools. I re-engineer tooling, machining. I look at tools and I look at the parts that it's trying to make, and I have to redesign tools that will make those parts, whether it's in the industrial, whether it's in the aerospace, or in the medical fields. And the process of staying with this company, I wasn't happy with the management, so I wanted to move out, and the doors were not opened. No matter how much I tried to literally push the doors open, pry the doors open, they were constantly closed. And I had to ask myself, why is it so hard to move from this place? If I can't move in it, I can't move within it, I have to ask myself, why do I want to be here? So I had to ask myself, and I had to see the writing on the wall, and a story came up to me with my pastor told us about the word Ichabod. And Ichabod means God has left this place. So I had to ask myself, is God still here? Am I supposed to still be here? Now, I'm coming from a spiritual point of view, as far as the decision I made to leave my corporate job. For you, you have to decide for yourself, whatever it is. Is it the financial reasons why you're staying? It was for me. Is it the benefits that come along with the job that you want to stay? That's what it was for me. For me, I had to say, can I work with this leadership and management above me for the next 10 to 12 years? Do they have my best interest at heart? That was the deciding factor. At that time, I had to say, can I picture myself, envision myself going any further with this company? And the answer was no. I couldn't grow. I couldn't go anywhere. Nobody was moving above me. I was already at the top. There was nothing else. So with that being said, walked in, gave them my letter of resignation, turned it over to them, told them Friday was my last day. After 33 years, 3 weeks ago, I brought pizza in for the entire company. All 27 associates that we have in the machine shop, I brought pizza in. Some people knew that was going on. They called that their last supper. The day of my walking out the door after 33 years, not even a handshake from any of the management, nothing. I got a card from some of the people that were in the company, got a couple of handshakes, a couple of hugs. It was probably one of the hardest decisions I had, to walk away from these people that I've known for literally 33 years and walk away from that security, that peace of mind, that all that stuff that was there. For me, I had to say, can I stay here? And no, I could not. I had to step out. I've already had a booming, established photography business. For the past 10 to 12 years, I've been doing weddings and high school seniors and families, and I've got a studio, and I do maternity pictures and newborn pictures and headshots. And I was making the best of both worlds. Somebody had asked me, well, you're not a real professional photographer until you're doing it full time as your bread and butter. And I disagree with that. I just agree with that 100%. I feel like there is a look to inexperience, meaning you just haven't done as many jobs as the next person. So always, always, always look at the website. That's when you can see and judge for yourself what is the right photographer for you. If you don't like my style and you don't like my look, then I'm not the person for you. But if you sit down with me and we talk about what your ideas are, everything, let's get this straight real quick, everything that the photographer takes comes out of the camera exactly the same. Straight out of camera is the same for every photographer. It's what we do in post. It's what we do in our editing that we can establish ourselves different than the next person. Example, moody, darker, flash images is different than light and airy. So we'll go off to that into another video. Right now I want to talk about why I left the corporate. And I had to decide to myself about what I was going to do as far as what was going to be in the best interest from me. I'm just looking at my notes. What was going to be in the best interest for me, and I had to decide I could not do this any longer. Now, I left 33 years seniority. I left 33 years of 5 weeks vacation, 12 days of sick time, a really, really good hourly rate, working 7 to 3 plus overtime if I wanted it. I had all of that at my fingertips. But I had to ask myself that why question. Is this my why? So I had to ask myself, I'm really good at photography and I'm really good at machining and designing tools. Even in designing tools, there's a creativity that comes along with what making tools and redesigning tools and re-engineering tools that caused me to be that much more creative in photography. So these jobs go hand in hand when it comes to being creative and thinking outside the box and all of those different problem solving, all those different things. The pros to staying in your full-time job is there's peace of mind, there's stability, there's consistency, and there's that knowing what you get for a paycheck every single week. Your medical's there, your dental's there, your 401k's there, everything else like that. The con to stepping away from the security is insecurity. there's no consistency. Everything is going to be very random now. And at the end of the day, are you happy? I wasn't. There is more joy and fulfillment capturing memories and capturing moments. And when I turn those images over and I turn that slideshow over and I reveal these images of what I captured for that day, whether it's a family session and got those kids being goofy and laughing and jumping in the pool or whatever it was, or if it's from the wedding and you're standing in front of this beautiful ocean and you're looking at the ocean and you're capturing the moments and the chemistry between that bride and that groom as they look at each other. Now they've got rings on their finger. Now that's bride and groom. Now it's husband and wife. Now they're looking at each other with another set of eyes now. They're looking at each other for the first time. Yeah, they've been together for years, but they're looking at each other as, this is my wife, this is my husband. So after the pictures are done or after the ceremony's done, I say, okay, we're gonna start doing some formal pictures, and I'll say, hey, you know what? Grab your wife, grab your husband. And they're like, oh my God, that's the first time I've heard people say that. The officiant just said it, but now that they're sitting there taking their pictures, these are the first images that you're gonna catch. So let me go backwards just a little bit about if you are not a professional photographer, if you're not full-time. I disagree with that. I think you need to look at the quality of the work, because if you can scan the websites and if you can scan the internet and if you can put that person who's working a full-time job website here and that person who's been doing the photography for the past 10 years as a professional with no other income except for photography, if you can tell the difference between the two, one might look amateurish, one might look more professional, but if they both look professional, but this one's got a full-time job, as a bride and groom, they don't care. They don't care if I work a full-time job. They don't care if I've got a 9 to 5, if I'm doing an accounting during the day and then I do my photography at night. As long as they know I'm showing up on their wedding day, as long as they know I'm showing up for the maternity pictures, as long as they know I'm showing up for that family session, they don't care what I do for the other time that I'm not working with them. At the end of the day, the website is what you deliver. That's your style, that's your look, that's your brand. I've got an established brand that I've had for years, and I pride myself on what I can do and what I can deliver. People don't need to know, first of all, and people don't care. They're just like, you know what? This is what you're going to deliver? Done. Love your personality, love your attitude. Let's go. Let's get this done. So, the title that we just put up on this is, should you leave your corporate job? And the question is, only you can answer that. Stay. My encouragement to you is, man, stay as long as you can. If that company or corporate doesn't stab you in the back and doesn't do anything ill to you, stay. Figure out the balance. It's not easy doing photography and another full-time job at the same time, or whatever job it is. You could be house cleaning during the day and doing accounting at night. Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. At some point, you have to say, if you can do both, hold on to that security as long as you can. Hold on to that very peace of mind, the security, the benefits. Hold on to that as long as you can. Don't walk away from $80,000 to walk into what you've only been making $30,000 to $50,000. Now combined, $125,000. That's amazing. But you're walking away from security to do this full time. This now becomes your job. Now you have to work to eat, not this brings in the bread and butter. You have to go out and get work. You have to go out and get jobs. You don't work for a month and a half, you are not eating in 2 months. Let's be honest. So you have to ask yourself that question. At what point can I get to before I can hold on to this no longer, then jump into this? Somebody asked me a question. I had to really, really think about it. I was working 8, 9, 10 hours a day as a machinist, plus doing photography, plus doing weddings on the weekend, plus doing families, plus doing all that stuff. I was tired, but I found the balance. And I was able to integrate both worlds together. I got a wife and 2 kids, a home. I still had to mow the lawn. I still had to do. I was still the coach of my kids' teams. I was still the basketball coach. I was still the soccer coach. I still did all of that in the process of doing 2 full-time jobs. So if you ain't energetic, you ain't gonna get it done. So you have to have some sort of energy level and drive that pushes you to do that. So with that being said, hold on to it as long as you can. Only you can answer that question. But once you get to that point where I can't do this no more, somebody asked me the question is, could you imagine how or where you would be 1 year from now 1 year from now, 365 days from the day that you quit, could you imagine yourself, where would you be if you took the same 8, 9, 10 hours a day doing your day job and you focused on 8, 9, 10 hours a day in photography? And I had to step back and say, wow, I definitely would be able to go out on the streets more. I definitely be able to hit more businesses. I definitely be able to market better. I definitely would be able to do my social media better and more consistently and more often, which is where I lack because I only have 2 hands. And I'm very particular when it comes to how I want my words to go out, how I want my personality to go out. I love meeting people. So you're not going to meet my assistant to hire me for your wedding. You're going to see me, you're going to get me. That's the way it's going to be. So you have to ask yourself those questions along the way. How long can I hold on to this for? And if I jump into this, you have to take that same amount of effort, time, and proficiency to do this and go out and get the work. You just cannot sit on the butt. I need to start doing more bridal shows outside of Massachusetts. I need to go to Connecticut. I need to go to Rhode Island. I need to go to Vermont. I need to do those other things. So it's going to take some effort, but I've got 8 hours a day free now. 8 hours a day now. I can have lunch with my wife and still edit and get pictures done and turn them around faster than I did before. Editing till 12 o'clock at night, then getting up at 5 o'clock to go work a 12-hour shift, then come home, have dinner with the family, and then go back to my editing when they went to bed, and then go back at 12 o'clock. Repeat. Fight, grind, repeat. This is how I say, shoot, edit, repeat. That's what you got to do. Shoot, edit, repeat. And when you can do that, when you start working for yourself, now I got to pay taxes. Now I got to get insurance. Now I'm self-employed. I get that. There's a lot of fears that come along with this too, but there's peace of mind knowing that I can do all things. I could just set my mind to it. It's going to have some slow seasons. I understand that. We're going to have to make some sacrifices, but the peace of mind knowing that I did this at 52 instead of 57 gives me peace. Knowing that in the process of doing this, this is the right time. You have to ask yourself, when is your right time? Is now the time? Is next month the right time? Weigh the pros and cons, figure it out. I encourage you, do it. Reach out to me. I'll put my text inside of there. You can call me, email me, send me a message through YouTube, whatever you do. I'm here to encourage you that you can do all of these things. So I want to pull up a real quick quote that I sent to my wife this morning, and I had to write it down, is you have to remember, all you need is what you have. All you need is what you have. There's nothing else you're going to need. You have everything you need. If you're motivated, you've got it. If you're persistent, you've got it. If you're consistent, you've got it. If you have that drive to do this on your own, whatever business that it is, go do it. I encourage you to do it. Be blessed, be encouraged. I hope this channel has done some good things for you to encourage you in the process of going in those directions. My next few videos, I'm going to try and do 1 a week, and the next few videos is going to be coming on either gear or why I left the DSLR and went into mirrorless. That's a whole nother subject for another thing, and all of it, but that's another big subject. So we'll cross that bridge later. So I want to encourage you, be encouraged. Find that why. Ask yourself, can I keep doing this? When is the time to go? Don't wait 5 more years to say, wow, I should have did 5 years ago. Be encouraged, be at peace, smile more, it hurts less. Peace.